Hello, hello. Welcome to day 1004 of Connecting the Thoughts. Quote for today is Life isn't what you get. Life isn't what you got when you were born. It is the summation of all that you do before you die. And what do I mean by that? Let's soon find out. Welcome back. The conversation today is a little philosophical. The conversation is about how life isn't what you got when you were born. It is the summation of all that you do before you die. A little cold, perhaps? A little in your face, perhaps? But isn't that what it is? Because we sometimes look at life as a stretch. And it is, it's a stretch. It's a stretch of all the things you do. It's a stretch of all the lives you touch. It's a stretch of all the contributions you make. Hi, Srinivas. It's a stretch of all the relationships you build, all the good that you do, all the hearts that you mend. So many things that you can do with your life. Yet, some of us are in a chase to maybe be one level up. We could possibly be in a chase to, what's in it for me? What's in it for me all the time? And when you come from that space of what's in it for me, very often what's in it for you is a lot of loneliness. What's in it for you is a lot of distrust. And again, when I say what's in it for me, I mean it from a place of selfishness. I mean it from a place of uncaringness for the other person. I mean it from a place of not having empathy for your friends, for your peers, for your family. And we know people who've been there. We've been there, done that, have had those experiences. Hello, Gopalan. So how would you like your life to kind of come together if you were to see your life on a large screen relaying as your life? What are those things that you would really be proud of? Actually, I don't very often use the word proud, but yes, today I want to. What are those moments that you would feel proud of yourself? What are those moments that you'd be embarrassed to show the world because within you know what you did was wrong? So look at life as a summation of all that you do, and it makes it easier for you to make decisions and choices in the hardest of situations. Sometimes when you're looking for let's take an example of a workplace example. If you're looking for a promotion, do you step over someone else's shoulders to get there? Do you push a friend so that you can go stand straight in line first? What do you do? Because life truly is a summation of all that you do before you die, before you're gone, or before your movie, your reel runs out. So make sure that you're doing the right thing each day. Make sure that you're being mindful, not just for yourself, but also for others. Make sure you're coming from a place of empathy, service, and not denying others anything just because you need it all. So yes, life isn't what you were given when you were born. Honestly, it isn't. It is a summation of all that you do before you die. Gopalan says, life happened the moment you were born. What you picked up along the way is what you made out of that journey. True that. True that, my friend. True that. So what are the things that you're picking? As I said, if your life was to relay on a large screen before the world, what are some things that would really, some moments and experiences and instances that really shine out, really shine as if, they were sparkles that glitter that you were wearing? And what are those moments that you'd like to hide under a rock and say, oops, did I really do that? Because, when you were doing that moment, when you were having that experience, when you were being that person, you knew that you were doing the wrong thing. Come on, be honest. You knew it. Yet you did what you did. So make an audit of the things that went right, the things that went wrong, the places where you might have been wrong, or the places where you know you were wrong. It's okay. As long as you acknowledge that you are wrong and then take an action point to mend that wrong, or to make sure you take the lesson from that wrong and not repeat it. And also to forgive yourself for doing that wrong. Some of us keep running on like a hamster on a wheel. We keep running the same day over and over again and call it a life. We don't change our ways. And because we don't change our ways, the results we get don't change, like on a hamster on a wheel. Srinivas says, Ruqya, I've realized if we focus on being, the doing happens from our being. Absolutely, yes, it does. So focus on the being, focus on who you are being in a moment. Are you being coming from a place of insecurity, and from a space of fear, from a space of ego? From where are you coming from? What are you out there to tell the world about yourself? Who are you being? And from being that person, what are you doing? How are you presenting yourself? Who are the people you're walking all over? Or are you letting yourself be walked all over? Think about it. These are important questions. Life truly is about the story that you leave behind. And I've spoken on this several times, and I think it's all the more important now in these transitional times for us to value life itself, for us to value ourselves, stand true to our value system, and understand what our triggers are, understand what our pattern is, and then break through and break a pattern that we know is not serving us. So if you realize you're being a hamster on a wheel, then also understand you are not a hamster. You can jump off. You're human. You have the capacity to use your mind. So if this has been of value to you, let's just write. I am observant. Gopalan says, sometimes we may not be aware in that moment that we were walking over someone to move forward. Yes. And that's why I said, observe, take a moment, have an audit, sit with yourself. It's important. You can't just be that hamster on the wheel. Take an audit, step down from the wheel and observe. Yes, sometimes we do things without knowing we hurt another person. But it's when you make that audit and you understand for yourself that, oh, oops, my action might have hurt someone. I might have run over someone. That's when you kind of take a step back, acknowledge that mistake for yourself first, for yourself. If you can mend it, please apologize to the other person and say, hey, I didn't know that this is what it was, but I'm sorry if I've hurt you in any way. Be that bigger person to say sorry. And then forgive yourself for having made that mistake. And then please learn from that lesson and do not repeat yourself. Because every time, if you're again going to, observe, apologize, come back, forgive, and then still do the same thing, then you're still being that hamster on the wheel. And you know, the cutest thing about hamsters, no matter how fast they go on the wheel or no matter how often they go on the wheel, they still remain fat because they're also constantly eating. No offense to hamsters, but yeah, just thinking about it. Because they don't change their pattern. Srinivas says, being mindful helps to be an observer. Gopalan says, unintended consequences. Yes, unintended consequences, and they happen. And when you understand the consequence of those choices, when you understand that it was unintended, it's a great idea to go apologize, forgive, learn, forgive, move on, do not repeat, break the pattern. So I am observant in comments. If this has been of value to you, if you are new to the conversation, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, because here every day I share little videos on the big things that make life spectacular, smile-tastic. And until tomorrow, keep smiling, keep shining, stay safe, and thank you for connecting the thoughts with me. Thank you so, so much. And if I have in any way offended anybody today or otherwise, I do apologize. Thank you.